One of the stars of Pawn Stars, Austin Russell, better known as Chumlee, is behind bars tonight. The Las Vegas courtroom was thick with tension as the judge announced the final verdict. Austin Chumlee Russell, unable to bear the weight of his fate, collapsed in disbelief, sending shockwaves through the courtroom and leaving onlookers in stunned silence. What sparked the intense emotions in the courtroom and led to the shocking confrontation between the beloved reality TV star and the justice system? Here's the full breakdown of the explosive legal battle that led to this moment. If this story intrigued you, don't forget to like, share with your friends, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel for daily updates on the latest news and fascinating stories. Stay tuned. Chumlee, the fan-favorite star of Pawn Stars, has become one of reality TV's most entertaining personalities. Known for his humor, relaxed demeanor, and unique ability to bring authenticity to every episode of the hit History Channel show, his career has spanned over a decade. Memorable moments, like when he bought a professional pinball machine using his own video games, have solidified his place in television history. Beyond his memorable catchphrases, Chumlee's legacy stretches far beyond television. His impact on the collectibles market, his role in elevating the gold and silver pawn shop's fame, and his deliberate efforts to build a personal brand showcase his evolution from a regular pawn shop employee to a cultural phenomenon and television icon. Chumlee's rise to fame was rooted in his likability, natural charm, and steadfast commitment to being himself, despite early doubts. While often cast as the comedic character of the shop, he refused to be typecast. Instead, he channeled his determination into mastering specific collectibles, eventually securing his position as a vital member of the Pawn Stars cast. Chumlee's performance earned him a cherished place among fans, cementing his status as a breakout star of the show. What truly sets him apart is his ability to connect with viewers through genuine depth and authenticity. His lasting impact reached audiences nationwide, making him a household name. Beyond television, his business ventures highlight his strategic mindset as he successfully built his own brand. Chumlee's personal brand, built through ventures like a candy clothing line and personal appearances, helped him amass millions. This fortune later funded his legal defense against shocking accusations that shook his loyal fan base. In the wake of Pawn Stars' success, both the show and Chumlee's career took different paths. The show's trajectory skyrocketed after its debut, becoming one of cable TV's highest-rated programs, with over 500 episodes and streaming online, continuing to blend its signature formula. With high production value, Pawn Stars became one of the most educational entertainment shows in reality TV. Meanwhile, Chumlee grappled with the challenges that come with fame. The public quickly embraced the lovable character they saw on screen, and his personal appearances attracted large crowds, showing that his popularity extended far beyond the show. However, the stark contrast between his on-screen persona and growing private struggles created tensions that lingered for years. "I've lived two completely different lives," Chumlee said. Fame has a way of making you feel invincible. I was determined to enjoy every moment, especially when people recognized me everywhere I went, Chumlee recalled. This drive fueled a more extravagant lifestyle, while Pawn Stars stayed rooted in historical items and negotiations. His personal life flourished with luxury cars, a mansion, and a vast collection of sneakers and jewelry. Social media posts highlighting his lavish shopping sprees racked up millions of views, crafting a public image that stood in stark contrast to his earlier, more humble beginnings. In the mid-2010s, there was a clear contrast between Chumlee's career success and his rising personal luxury. As both soared, Pawn Stars hit its peak viewership, with special episodes drawing over 7 million viewers. At the same time, Chumlee's personal brand grew, including the opening of Chumlee's candy shop on Las Vegas Street and a successful behind-the-scenes product line. However, the pressures of fame began to weigh heavily on him, threatening to derail his career. Chumlee often credited his struggles to the sudden shift from anonymity to fame. Going from an ordinary guy to someone who couldn't go to Walmart without taking 500 photos drove me crazy, he admitted in a rare, candid interview. I turned to things to help me cope. It nearly cost me everything. The personal chaos he faced stood in stark contrast to the increasingly professional nature of the show. By 2016, the gap between his public persona and private reality had grown so wide, while Pawn Stars continued to portray Chumlee as the lovable character fans adored. While fans adored the innocence Chumlee brought to the screen, off camera, his life was taking troubling turns that would soon be exposed. His years of increasingly reckless behavior eventually led to legal trouble. In March 2016, a police raid at his Las Vegas home was initially linked to a sexual assault investigation. "We executed a search warrant as part of an ongoing investigation," Officer Rodriguez explained in a press conference, a statement that quickly spread through entertainment news outlets. What authorities uncovered during the search led to additional charges unrelated to the original investigation. The raid quickly became a hot topic in the entertainment world, with websites speculating on its potential impact on both Chumlee and the future of Pawn Stars. A week later, TMZ revealed shocking details. Guns, drugs, and drug paraphernalia were found at Chumlee's home. Far from the cheerful persona viewers had grown to love, this was a far cry from the humility fans had seen on TV. A fan shared in a viral social media post that this situation has changed the way people view Chumlee. If these stories intrigue you, hit the subscribe button so you never miss any of our videos. Don't forget to share with your friends and family so you can explore these surprising stories together. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What's your take on changing yourself through plastic surgery? Watching the show, Chumlee never seemed like someone with these kinds of issues. The stark contrast between his public persona and private reality appeared to be the tipping point in the weeks that followed. Prosecutors built a case and filed multiple felony charges against the reality TV star, including possession of firearms and drugs, with a potential prison sentence of up to 20 years. If convicted on all charges, the allegations not only carried severe legal consequences, but also posed a serious threat to the carefully crafted public image of Chumlee. The legal actions shook the entertainment industry, threatening the foundation of Chumlee's entire career and financial success. Experts speculated that this could mark the end of one of the most recognizable reality TV personalities. Court records revealed startling details about the scale of the discoveries at Chumlee's residence. Evidence records showed authorities found multiple types of weapons, including assault rifles, alongside various substances and related items. However, in a significant twist, the initial search was driven by an investigation into the alleged sexual assault. No charges were filed regarding the alleged sexual assault due to insufficient evidence, but the lifestyle Chumlee had cultivated posed a serious risk to public safety. A prosecution document recommended applying the maximum penalties based on the quantity and nature of the items found on the first day of the trial, setting a tense atmosphere as Chumlee entered the courtroom. Camera flashes lit up his somber expression. His Pawn Stars colleagues were noticeably absent, and the television personality who had once entertained millions was now facing the legal consequences of his actions. Your Honor, this case involves serious violations of controlled substance and firearms laws, the prosecutor began, outlining the charges. The defendant's home contained an arsenal of weapons and a large quantity of illegal substances. Tension in the courtroom mounted as photos of the seized items were displayed on the screen. Chumlee, seen staring down at the floor, occasionally shook his head as particularly damaging evidence was presented during the interrogation, further escalating the already charged atmosphere. Was it your testimony that Mr. Russell was operating a drug distribution operation? Chumlee's lawyer asked the officer, questioning the quantity and types of substances found, implying they were more than for personal use. The officer confidently responded, but admitted he did not find scales, packaging materials, or a distribution list typically associated with trafficking. Tension in the courtroom intensified during the testimony about the weapons. Do you agree that Mr. Russell is a well-known collector of various items, including historical weapons? Chumlee's lawyer inquired. Collecting requires a license and proper storage, replied the weapons expert, Turley, adding another layer of complexity to the case. Chumlee appeared visibly nervous, whispering to his lawyer as the judge reminded him to remain silent unless called to the witness stand. Legal experts testified about the potential sentencing guidelines, emphasizing that these charges often carry severe prison sentences. Former attorney James Wilson explained that the combination of firearms and controlled substances made the situation particularly grave. Chumlee's defense centered on his lack of a prior criminal record and argued that his fame had contributed to poor judgment, claiming that his celebrity status had created an environment where the line between normal and excessive became increasingly blurred. My client was caught up in the whirlwind of excess, clouding his judgment, his lawyer argued, stressing that he never intended to cause harm and had been a public figure with good character in many respects. As the trial neared its end, fans watched with growing concern. This wasn't just a legal battle. It was the potential downfall of a beloved television personality whose appeal was rooted in his relatability and harmless persona. Plea negotiations became a central focus of the trial, with lawyers from both sides engaged in tense discussions. As deep discussions about potential solutions unfolded, the implications of the case extended far beyond the threat to Chumlee's personal freedom, with the possibility of him being imprisoned for years. Considerations also focused on his career, with estimated damages in the millions, a tarnished reputation, and an uncertain future on Pawn Stars. Regardless of the outcome, on the final day the courtroom was packed with fans, some holding supportive signs, while others wore Pawn Stars merchandise. Inside, the atmosphere was electric as Judge Michael Davidson presided over the proceedings. As Chumlee prepared for sentencing, after agreeing to plead guilty in the state case against him, the judge began the court proceedings. He carefully reviewed the plea deal negotiated between the prosecution and defense, weighing both the mitigating and aggravating factors. The room was so quiet that the rustling of paperwork could be heard as Chumlee stood, his hands trembling slightly at his sides. The defendant pleaded guilty to one charge related to firearms and one charge related to a minor drug offense. The judge continued, announcing that the remaining charges were dismissed as part of the agreement. Chumlee's expression remained tense as his lawyers exchanged cautious glances. However, the court had to address the severity of the offenses. The judge firmly stated that the possession of illegal substances and unregistered firearms raised serious concerns about public safety. The ruling was clear. Chumlee would be sentenced to 3 years of probation, required to undergo counseling and regular drug testing, and all items seized in the raid would be confiscated. But the truly shocking provision came as a surprise. Any violation of his probation terms would result in an automatic 3-year prison sentence without the need for a subsequent hearing. The court accepted the plea deal with these conditions. The judge then declared, "Mr. Russell, you are hereby sentenced to 3 years of probation with strict compliance supervision. Any violation will result in immediate incarceration for 3 years. Do you understand these terms?" In reality, this was a heavy blow to Chumlee after months of turmoil, especially after facing the potential of decades behind bars. This moment marked a significant turning point in his life. Instead, there was a wave of relief, as the reality of how close he had come to losing everything, coupled with the realization that his freedom now hinged on perfect compliance, seemed to overwhelm him. His face turned pale, beads of sweat forming on his forehead as the judge continued to read the full conditions. In addition, the defendant was required to complete 200 hours of community service. The judge's voice grew distant, drowned out by the roaring in Chumlee's ears. The courtroom began to spin, and his lawyer quickly noticed something was wrong. Placing a firm hand on his arm, his lawyer tried to steady him, but it wasn't enough. The reality TV star who had entertained millions suddenly collapsed forward. Security rushed to his side as his labored breathing echoed through the courtroom. The television personality who had built his career on his carefree attitude was now unconscious in court, as the world watched him succumb to a panic attack. A medical staff member called out, pushing through the crowd to make space. Someone grabbed water as the medical team rushed in, and photographers captured the chaotic scene. It quickly dominated entertainment headlines worldwide. Chumlee, the beloved Pawn Stars personality, was being attended to on the courtroom floor. The emotional toll of his legal battle had finally manifested physically. Outside the courtroom, Rick Harrison was seen visiting his colleague and friend for a brief moment, while fans gathered in concerned groups, many expressing shock at the dramatic conclusion of the case. The medical drama quickly overshadowed the legal verdict as entertainment websites and social media exploded with worry, with fans flooding platforms to share their concerns. Updates and supportive messages with hashtags like #ChumleeStrong and Pawn Star Family flooded social media. 3 days later, still shaking but with his signature smile back, Chumlee released a video statement from his home. "Facing the consequences of my actions seems to have triggered my anxiety," he explained, offering a weak attempt at humor. "The doctor says I need to make better choices. I know he's right." The concern for his health appeared to spark a fundamental shift in Chumlee's public persona. In a surprising turn, the History Channel took action. Reportedly supportive of his continued involvement in the show after recovery, an anonymous source revealed that the network saw his legal troubles as an opportunity for a true redemption storyline. While official representatives would not confirm future plans or comment on specific arrangements, Chumlee's next statement carried a different tone. I let my reputation cloud my judgment. I made mistakes that could have cost me everything, he said, his demeanor unusually serious. I'm grateful for this moment. Opportunity, and I promise my fans I won't waste it, Chumlee said. The entertainment world buzzed with speculation about what might happen next. This legal battle had changed his path, and as a seasoned reality TV figure, the audience connected with stories of redemption. Chumlee now had an authentic narrative to share with the media. Observers noted that he seemed focused on his legitimate business ventures while staying in line with all court requirements. Fans flooded social media with supportive messages about his potential return, though no official confirmation was given. When asked directly about his return to television, neither Chumlee nor the network provided a specific timeline. Chumlee offered a thoughtful response. Right now, I'm focused on being healthy and making better decisions. The show has been my family for many years, and I hope to make them proud again. The legal battle, once seen as the potential end of his career, had unexpectedly turned into a turning point. Interest in Pawn Stars remained strong, with many fans expressing support for Chumlee's eventual return to the series that made him famous. For those who have followed his journey from an unknown pawn shop employee to a television star, this courtroom drama serves as a stark reminder of the pitfalls of fame. The collapse, which left viewers stunned, wasn't just about a man reaching his breaking point. It could also mark the beginning of a more authentic public persona emerging from behind the carefree character. What do you think about how fame influences personal judgment? Share your thoughts in the comments.